Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show and another episode of Springtide. Now that means boat fishing, but first we're here in the Totally Awesome office and we're going to be taking a look at fishing marks, how to get the best of a fishing mark. Now it's all very well having a set of GPS numbers or even landmarks, taking bearings, so that you can find out exactly where you're fishing, but what is exactly on the bottom? You can find the fishing spot and somebody might pass you over some marks that's there for good fishing, but what exactly is on there? Now what happens if you're over a good fishing mark and you fished a bit to the left or a bit to the right or a bit down tide? You need, as a fisherman, all the information you can get at your disposal. I've got to use all the electronic wizardry I can, and obviously that won't be a great deal with my limited brain capacity, but I do the best I can, and occasionally I even get to wind a fish or two in. Let's get over to the office, I'll show you what I've been doing. Now this is a paper chart, but of course nowadays you can get what's called, it's called a Navionics, that's the maker, and they come in different grades of chart cards. So that's a little memory card that you can put into either your computer or you can put it into your sounder. Now I've got my boat sounder on the desk there, wired up to a 12-volt battery with an inline fuse there for safety. Hopefully it doesn't all go off bang, and I can hopefully show you a little bit more detail. Now, other than the paper charts, with these cards you buy and put a memory card, they're not cheap, but they have an incredible amount of detail on them depending which level you get. And you can put that card into the plotter, assuming your plotter, your GPS unit, takes that card, and then you get a whole different ball game of definition, contours, etc. And I'll show you what my one looks like, and we'll be looking at the same area. Okay, now here's a look at, you can see here, all the mainland here, all the water here, there's the Isle of Wight again, but let me get my spectacles on up here and I'm going to zoom in. There we go. Now that is what the Platinum Plus chart card can now give you. Obviously little anchors, all little fishing spots I've got, but there we go down to Celsius Bill, if you can see that down there. So much more detail, but just watch how this chart card comes in. Now, you can go past what they call the memory bank. You can zoom in. Over here, you can see this just here on the right of the picture. That's that mark called the Hounds, and that dries out there. So a lot of the time I fish just on the inside of there. But you can see that general teardrop area. And if I zoom in again, hopefully you can see that. There, guys, let's get that camera locked off. And what I would do is pull it up, rather than zoom in with the camera, I will put it up on there. I can go right in on that. So there we go. You can see the numbers down there. It's telling me it's got no GPS fix. Don't worry about that. That's because it's not on the boat. It's in my office. Now I can move this up here. This is a touchscreen. This is a Lowrance HDS7 touchscreen. Now that's that same teardrop area, generalised area, out from the Hounds. We're going to go in again, bring it down, go in again, bring it down. Now I've got on this chart card loads of different measurements, okay? And we can see those okay, should be able to see those fairly clear there. He says, don't want to drop these glasses. Now then, you can see obviously that that's a nice big area for fishing all around here. There's a standardised depth out there, all fairly sort of even depth. But here, all in here, it's higgledy-piggledy, it's up and down and everything. So you can have, let's say, this one's one where that cursor is there. I can move the cursor across, you can go across a bit. Now, Bream Wayne 2, that's Wayne Conman's one of his marks he's given me there, and the teardrop area generally all in this area. But you can see here how, if I move this across, you've got lots of different contours there. Now, you can keep going in on this. You can actually zoom in even more on these chart cards. Right in close, and if I pull that one back up there, you can see the detail there is really good. That's not to say there's just bream there could be other fish as well, but it's a generalised fishing area. However, you can take this one step further with the Lowrance unit. You can either buy the Platinum, the Navionics Platinum card, or one of the other grades of cards. Doesn't have to be Platinum, but the more expensive cards have the more detail on them. Let's pull that back. You can see there's absolutely stacks of detail on this. Unbelievable amount of information on there. Okay, now I'll take you across to the computer now and have a look at the Insight Genesis method you can do it. Now the Insight Genesis method is on my boat, on that HDS7 touchscreen unit. I can record my own sonar logs and then I can download them and put them on the computer. So I've got the paper chart, I've got the Platinum Navionics card in there, which gives me a huge amount of detail, really, really good. If you can afford them, they are really good and a worthwhile investment. Or you can get a subscription and do an Insight Genesis one, and that gives you even more detail. Look at this. This is what I recorded. Okay, here we are on the computer screen, and you can see here again is Selsey Bill, East Wittering up here, Chichester Residence here, the hounds is in this general area over here. This gives me my echo sounder reading as well, but this is the one I'm going to be interested in. And if I zoom in there, I'm going to try and do this on the computer for you. We can see we're zooming in, zooming in, zooming in. That is a contour that I've taken when I was out in the boat on my own. That's a standard 10-foot one. So all this red mark is a track or a trail where I've taken the boat around and around and around, recording the sonar log on this Lowrance unit. I've brought it back here, put it into the Insight Genesis system, and then downloaded everything's come back to me telling me what I've actually recorded. So what is it telling me? Bear in mind this is all around the teardrop area. Okay, I'll take that track line off from there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, pull the screen up here. Now look, totally different areas. This black area, incidentally, is an area of mist. I've got to do that. Little curves. I mean, you can spend a lot of time doing this sonar logging. It's quite interesting, but you can miss bits. But if I put the contours on there, and let's say instead of 10 feet apart, I put them just a foot apart, watch how many come on. A huge, huge amount of contours. Now let's just take the camera in just a tad more, just so you can see in there the general area. Look up here, you can see the black bit I've missed. The blue actually should join across there, and you can get an idea how close all these is. So this whole general area, the whole area would be called the teardrop area. It's just a general fishing area. You know, not the greatest place in the world, it's not the worst place in the world. Everywhere has its day. But what I'm trying to say to you is, although loads of people know about the teardrop mark, look at all these little reference points here. Now that means a steep drop, because you've got there very tight contour lines, if you like. That means the drop is very steep. And here, and especially over here, you can see that peaks up there, but what a drop down the edge. Now, depending which way the tide is going, east, west, west, east, north, south, whatever, you can fish this side or that side of these peaks or these edges, and you can catch different species. And down the bottom end here, you can see that there's more of a gradual slope away off of the high area of the teardrop down into the deeper water. But what interests me are these ridges. There's 1, 2, 3, possibly the other side, 4, 5, and then 6 good areas. Maybe, if you can see that one down there on the left, there's a little tiny one down there just on the left. That might be worth looking at as well. You can also change the contours. You want less contour lines in there, you can take them off. You can put different layers for vegetation. If you want to put what weeds are there, I don't imagine there's a huge amount of weeds there, and it comes up all in different aspects of weeds. Composition of the bottom, that tells you if it's hard rock, you know, or soft or mud or clay. Obviously the red, one assumes, is the hardest grade of stuff, which fits in with the peaks on the top. But for me, I find the ones with the contours set at 1 foot, the ones that give you the most detail, look there, that's what I'm going to use. So that gives you plenty to think about. Areas there, steep angled drops, nice big slopes. There's plenty of scope. This whole generic area of the teardrop has lots of little minor marks in amongst it. So you can see I've got 3 different options. I can use the paper chart, which most people would have heard of. I can then use my own plotter, my own GPS unit, and put in that Navionics Platinum card, gives me a huge, huge amount of detail. Or indeed, I can use that Lowrance unit. I can go out, I can log my own recordings, and then I can bring them back, transfer them into Insight Genesis and get my own feedback. Exactly, could have been yesterday, even more up to date. Instant, you can almost do it the same day. You could log in and you could download everything, upload everything, and you get it back downloaded within about an hour, and you've got everything that you did in the afternoon if you went out in the morning. So I'm going to use, let me call them micro marks. I'm going to use those micro marks within the teardrop, let's say, as a general generic mark, the teardrop area. There are lots of little small marks that you can see there. It's not just, oh, there's the teardrop, it's a great big lump of rock. There's ups and downs and gullies and canyons. They might only be 4 or 5 foot deep, but they might be the areas that hold those fish that you want to catch. So let's get High Sea Drifter out on the water, launch her down a Hailing Island, take her out and see if we can't catch anything. And I'm going to be using something. Now what the hell is he using now? Does anybody know what it is? I know it's a piece of sewage pipe, really. Clean, brand new. It's a chum tube, and that's what I'm going to be doing, filling that full of mashed up chum, and hopefully that, in combination with the information I've gleaned, those angles, those drop-offs, those ridges, those gullies, those micro marks, I might just be able to pick a fish or two off. There's only one thing to do. Let's add water. Okay, well, I've got that chum tube down now. I've got it down on the bottom. First thing I do is put that out, always, and I can sort all the boat out, get my rod set up, and then what I'm going to be doing is getting all these little lightweight rods, that are really, really tiny little whippy little rods like this. Just fun rods, and I've got a tiny lead, and all I've got is just paternostered squid there, if you can see, just squid strips on about a 6-inch snood. That's all you need, trying to find a few bites. And you want to cast down tide of where that chum tube is, and that's where you want to go. Just get this one down tide. Just let it hit the bottom. Now when you've got a light lead, it's pretty hard trying to feel that weight actually bump on the bottom, but I thought I had a bite on the other rod then. I think I've got a bite on the other rod. Let me get this one down, and then eventually you're going to find out whether the fish have come close to the tube, where the smell of the food's coming out of it, or whether the tide is carrying it further back and they're way back and they're working their way up. So you want to space those rods out, you know, near the tube, 20-30 feet back, and maybe put a bait, maybe even a bigger bait, off slightly to the side, down tide of it. Definitely a bite. Let's grab it, let's grab it. Pretty sure I saw a bite on that one. It's only the second one I've thrown out. It's heavy. Oh, maybe I've got the chum tube. No, it's a fish. It's a fish on a light rod. This is what it's all about. It's what you come out sea fishing for, and it is a dogfish. Hey, you've got to start somewhere. Rescue me from this time. All I need is a friend to talk about these issues with. And rescue me from the state I'm in, yeah. Come on. Why don't you rescue? Yes, you might ask yourself, what in God's name is that man using for a fishing weight? I'm using, because I didn't bring my box of small weights with me, I neglected and left them in the garage. I am using what I can. Not for my car or my trailer, it is a nut. And as you've seen, was that fish bothered? Not at all. It's just a weight that takes your bait down to the seabed, and it basically is, yes, one nut being used by another nut. And if you hear bombing runs coming over from planes. It's down here on the south coast, all around this sort of Selseyville area. They do Spitfires, and I think they got Hurricanes that do trips up, and it's really cool because obviously it's sort of big Second World War area, and they used to have the fighter pilots going up in the 39-45 war, trying to protect all the shipping from being bombed in Portsmouth and Southampton. So on a day like today, there's even a chance, not only am I catching a few fish, I might even get to film a Spitfire or a Hurricane. Let's get this nut back out there.
Why don't you rescue me?
Hey, Wally. Yeah, we're going nab 7 anyway, alright, get your shout when you're there.
I wouldn't go to nab 7, mate, because the fish are here. Or something is here. A bit of a dead weight, actually. I don't think it's a bream or anything. Answers on the postcard. Is it liftable? Is it caught from my transducer? No, but it does have 11 other lines. Wow. Ow. There we go, people. Another dogfish. So, maybe that chum tube is working, but nothing else. And I'm hearing on the radio, people moving. When people are moving in the boats, generally a sign there's not much going on. But still, I've got a little bit of action going on here. And I've missed 2 or 3 other little bites. The tide is outlandishly peculiar. It is heading east all the time when it should be heading west. I don't understand how an ebb tide goes east here on the south coast of England. Apparently it does. Hopefully when it changes, get some other species coming on the bite. Double whammy, folks. Double whammy. I've got a fish on this one, fish on that one. Which one to take? Being this is a bigger rod, I'll take this one. Peculiar bites. That does not look like a bream bite. This is... can't even see. Ah! Now, this tells me something. It's yet... come here. Another dogfish. Now, generally, I would say you won't get these much over rock. You're more likely to get them over sand. And I think, after showing you that big, you know, the main mound of rock, I think the wind or the tide has something just pushed me off the edge, because I'm not getting rock species. I'm getting these. Don't splash the camera on the nice people on YouTube. I'm getting these, which generally would point to being over sand. Right, well, just had a bite on that small rod, which I'll investigate in a moment. Now, little tip on unhooking these. They're very, very rough skin. Years ago they used to use them, skin them and use them as cabinet makers for sandpaper, and that's the truth. If you grab them like this and you've got your sleeves rolled up, they'll wrap around and they'll rub all your skin. It'll be really sore when you get in the shower. Best way to do is get the towel, bend the towel to the head, fold it like this. It's all you got to do is fold out, because look how bendy they are. Just bend them like this. They have a cartilage, not a skeleton. No problem. And then just pop the hook out like that. Watch. Hook's out. I'll put the hook back over the side. And there we go. Fish can go over the side as well. That's the easy way to do it. Now, let's investigate out the rod. Defo a bite. Maybe I've missed him. Got to see what species this is this time. I think he's still there. No, I lost him. I'll give it another 10 minutes here, and I think I've got to move, because I just think I've swung. I'm on the sand. Looking at the numbers on the sounder, it seems like I'm just a little bit off it. That's all it takes, is a little bit of breeze, a little bit of change in the tide to swing you off of where you want to be. Another fish on, not minutes later. And whatever it is, even on these light spinning rods, give you some great sport. But alas, alas, although I'm having some good sport with these, they're just very indicative of being over sand. How much longer should I give it? I mean, most people will be pleased to catch these all day long, I guess. If you're a beginner starting out catching these, they look like baby sharks. But there's other species out there. Well, I've moved, I've gone the other side, trying to find a bit of rock. I'm finding the rock, and instead of finding a different species, I am still finding a completely knotted up dogfish. Let's untangle the chappie. They just attracted by this chum that I've got going there. I think that's what it is. Yet another dogfish. Do you know, the wind's moving, it keeps just changing off a quarter or two. The tide, I can't make my mind up what on earth is happening with the tide, but I am catching fish. But it'd be nice to get a different species after doing all that survey work with that sounder. I feel another move coming, guys. That way. Well, you think he was in the kennel club, he's got that many dogfish now. How many more can this man catch? Well, I moved the other side and the tide has picked up, it's barreling through, the water's gone lovely and clear. I put a bigger bait on, heavier lead to cope with it, and I got good fish on. Hopefully it's not a dogfish. I haven't seen it yet, but my problem, because I'm fishing alone, I put a chum sack out and the chum tube, and the chum tube swung right up in the water like this, so it's laying well up in the water. I just hope this fish doesn't hang up in it. Bad feeling. Try and keep it out to the side. I've got another line, I know I've got another line. Come on, fish. Oh, why did I put that extra line out? Fisherman's green. Hoping I haven't got the whole chum tube. Let me bing this off, I'm going to have to get this sorted out, guys. Success in every totally awesome packet. Covered in thorns, which is why it's called a thornback. A nice ray there. Well, I'll tell you what, pleased with that one. So, three or four moves. Get that hook out. Those 3 or 4 moves. The pliers. It's just got the biggest barb on this hook. I'll tell you what you should do as well. You should oil your pliers so they open. It's always dead handy. This one will come out. There we go. There's a fish. Turn that camera around a bit. So there you go, people. That shows you doing that soundering, trying to see what ground I was over, trying to work it. And the only reason I think I've really caught this, apart from the fact obviously I'm putting the hours in, is because I keep trying to get it right in relation to that mark. I just want to be on the edge of the slope. I don't want to be on top of it, I don't want to be away from it. If I'm away from it, I've got the dogfish. Anyway, nice ray. Let's get this one back. Mayhem, guys. Oh, I'm on again. I've got a feeling, Smooth-hound or a ray. In this current, it's really giving me some pressure. Oh, guys, kicking. That's not thornback round, I think, kicking. I have to start spooling me. That's a smoothie. That's got to be a smoothie. I've just got to watch those other lines. This one. Oh no, he's going to get the other lines. He's spooling me out here. But you can see that, guys, the rod is absolutely flat. Might get lucky. No, stop it, calm down. Don't need a broken rod, a broken line, or a broken heart. It was broken many years ago by a young lady I've never forgiven. Slowly, just hope it hasn't picked another line. Oh, it's picked another line up. Jesus Christ. Under. Oh, he's going around the other side of the boat, people. hate losing fish I can't see. I know it sounds stupid. It might well just be a thornback grey. 101% it is not another dogfish. I think that chum is really starting to work now. It took its time. Of course, I've left the chum tube in now. I've got a chum bag out. The fish is hanging very deep. Very deep. If he takes off again, it could be a really nice Smooth-hound. It's only a bonefish rod, so I can't give it much more than this. It's only fiberglass, it's not carbon. I've got to try and get it up the side of the boat if I can. And if there's one thing I like, it's a bent rod. Not light line, light rod, heavy line. That way you get to get the fish and great sport as well. The rod has nothing left. In fact, I've got a broken ring on it. I can see the insert, the glass, plastic glass insert is broken. It slid down to the next one. Come on, let's see. No more kicking. Oh, he's kicking, he's kicking. Why do that? Why do that to me? He's going for teller. Don't get this much trouble with marlin. Really see? Oh yes, a nice Smooth-hound. Right. Hang on 1 second, ladies. Guys, I've got the head cam on as well, just in case I lose this fish. It's a really nice Smooth-hound. I don't think this is a million miles away from double figures. And it's just planing in the tide. Generally, if I touch that leader, Jesus, I need a net really. Small hook. We're going to have to get the net, guys. Going to have to get it. It's all tangled up here. I rarely use it. I'd normally say the fish I catch, I don't ever need the net because they're too big. I'm going to go for this one. It's a small one. Yeah! It's a big one. Oh, I tell you what, I think that's my PB Smooth-hound, guys. Oh yes sir, let's take a look at it. Wow, 3 or 4 moves but it paid off. Read those bottom features, try and work out where you think the fish are going to be. Actually, he's just coughed something up and it's landed right on my seat. Oh no, look what he's throwing up. Let me just show you what he's throwing up. He's just coughed this up. That is a whole, either squid or cuttlefish. How do they catch them? How do they catch squid? I'm using squid for bait, but it's frozen. How do they catch them? I don't know. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Beautiful fish. Let's get it back. I feel something else might be coming.
We just wanna have a good time, good time, good time, baby, good time.
So you can see, I'm actually starting to rack up different species now by moving around. That's the benefit of getting all that sounder work and those recordings done first and using a good chart card. It gives me information, more information hopefully means more fish. Are there more fish? Let's keep watching. Well, I'll tell you what guys, I was pleased to get those 2 fish. But I still have trouble after 50 years of fishing understanding how a fish like a Smooth-hound, which is a bottom feeding species, how can it catch squid? Are the squid down near the bottom, near the seabed, at night and they catch them at night? Because this one here, I'm guessing is a whole, well, big piece of squid. There's a cartilage just in there. I've certainly got nothing in my bait box that big. I'm not using squid like that, and it's blanched out totally where he started digesting it. So I'm asking myself, do the squid stay near the bottom during the daylight hours, therefore they're in the domain of the other predators, Or the fish like Smooth-hound rise up off the seabed and take the squid mid-water or at night time when they're up. I don't know. It's a good theory. All I know is I got myself a free bait. Yeehaw! Won't be frying that one though. Okay, now here's another totally awesome tip. When you get towards the end of the day, and if the tide is starting to slack off, and you're pretty sure you're going to fish a little bit of slack water and then go home, any leftover bait you've got on your bait tray or in your tackle box that's not frozen and you know is going to go off, dice it all up. Don't waste it. Either put it in a chum bag, send it down. You can send it in a plastic bag tied to your rod and reel with a weight, send it down and you jerk it, it turns it all out near the bottom. Or you can use a chum tube, which I've got. Let's just show you this one. Like this, which I've been using today. Big 2 pound lead on the bottom. Piece of drain pipe with a million holes drilled in it. A rubber cap. I fill it up with all that chum. And then I tie it to an old crab line and let it down. Don't waste anything. Fish right up to the last moment you can. Well, I was pleased to get those fish. And now the tide is almost totally dead. So I don't really expect to catch too much on the big baits. I might get some more small fish like those black bream. So now's the time to get that chopped up bait down in the water and it's sinking all around the boat. Let's get it down there.
It's only a phase. As time ticks on, things come and go in life. So we have to be strong, alone or by each other's sides. If what we feel is true, then keep on searching through this misty haze. Yeah, this misty haze. My misty haze.
Yes, folks, they're back. Donald the dogfish is back in town. Unfortunately for me. But hey ho, a fish is a fish is a fish. What? As if the lead hits me round the ear. There we go. It's actually turning into a halfway decent session. Don't forget, put the tail up to the head, so you hold it like that. Tail in the head, and then you can either use pliers or just use your fingers. Just pop that bend just out there, out of the barb, out there, easy peasy, and back it goes.
Consider yourself a fisherman. Just how far do you want to take it? Subscribe to this channel for more awesome videos.
You've been using the same bait twice. How tight is that? Waste not, want not. That's what my grandmother told me. And another one. A fool and his money are soon parted. And another one. Something or other twixt cup and lip, but I don't know what that one is. Tide is dying. Getting ready to get rid of that chum and offload it. Yes, folks, I may have moved several times, but was it worth it? I think it was. Well, I put some ragworm, some frozen ragworm, which is normally no good. And I've got it on this mini stick here with a fish on tiny hooks. As I told you, the tide was slacking off and I just thought I'm going to give this a go. It feels very dogfish-like, which I find unusual on ragworm from a boat. You get dogfish on ragworm from the shore, not so much from the boat. Interesting to see what this guy is. And of course now the wind's died off and that's created another problem for me because now I'm at the mercy of the tide that can swing me on the anchor. So I'm going to lose my little spot again, well, yet again. It is indeed a dogfish. This is quite sad. In my freezer, because I'm an all-round angler, everything goes in there. So I brought everything out. Sardines, squid, sprats, leftover sand eels from beach fishing trips. It's all there, bits of mackerel to chop up and throw down. And I just opened this packet, which isn't a packet marked prawns. You think, oh, sea fish? Wrong. Sweet corn and maggots. Now what in God's name am I doing putting sweet corn and maggots in my sea box for? But I'm going to give these sweet corn a go. As stupid as it sounds, I've never caught a sea fish on sweet corn in my life. Why not try? That little bit of ragworm on there, frozen as it was, has caught me. Target species of the day, a black bream. Well, when it's in the boat. Come to the camera, boys. Here we go. So the day is panning out pretty well. Don't spike me now. Don't spike me. There we go. Nice black bream there. It's going to go back, and you can just see that frozen ragworm on the front. Now, I've never actually used frozen ragworm a lot, so I know it's a pretty rubbish bait. But hey, hang on, guys. Over slack water, when the tide can't wash it out, you can catch black bream. There's the proof of the pudding, and I'm about to get spiked by this chappie. Oh, you son of a... Kids watch this, so I better put it back. Come here, you lovely fish. You. Look at the blood coming out. You. It's a lovely fish, this black bream. I'll put it back. Bye. Does this man use more rods than a fully equipped charter boat? It seems so to me. Well, the chumming certainly did it. I'm on again, but it's time to go home. Fairly sure I know what this one's going to be because I put a piece of sardine on, which is a soft bait, and it is indeed. So there we go. Come aboard, sir. There we go. I'll finish as I started, and that was with the dogfish. Don't worry about the lead smashing the boat up, mate. That's okay. And what I want to know is, while he's fighting all those fish, who's the woman that's holding the camera? I know, I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. It's the last cast. And the bream have come on the bite. I've had two. I'm on again. It's that chum that's gone down on the deck. They're all milling around at slack water. I mean, I'll have to pack up after this if I get it up. I know it's a bream. Good fish on this light tackle. It's the only way to go bream fishing is with light tackle. Here it is, not big bream, but come aboard and do not spike me. Oh, whatever. Just fall on the floor then. Be very careful picking bream up off the floor because they naturally arch their back, but I was waiting for that one. There he is, nice little bream. Gonna get him back. Brilliant session. It's still a brilliant session because I was supposed to have packed up half an hour ago, and I'm starting to catch the bream now, so not a bad old day. See you next time. And you won't get a harder fighting fish than the Smooth-hound, The only fish that can empty the reel in seconds, if you let it. Big fish, guys, big fish. Sprawling me out on my heavy tackle. I'm stuffing myself with a sandwich. Has to be a smoothie. Still eating my food. Oh my God. What a session. I think this is a... Don't fall off, don't fall off. If he stays this side, he's gone about 40 yards so far off to the side, so if he stays that side, I've got a shot at it. Because I've got virtually a commercial fishing license number of rods on the other side, which I don't need him going into at this stage. I was supposed to pack up an hour ago. It's such a peachy evening, you cannot go home when you want to be out on the ocean like this. A bent rod, screaming reel, and a biscuit rammed down your throat in one because you got the bite and had to bite it, and one bite at that end and one bite at this end. Bosh! Oh, this is a big fish. This one, I would say, is every bit double figures because this is a heavy spinning rod. I can get down. I don't know if you guys want to see this or not. I probably won't mess around too much at this stage in the day. I put a piece of squid, half a squid on, and he just took off like a bat out of hell. Just want to see it. This is a good fish. Now the thing with smooth-hounds, guys, they can just zip under the boat around all your other lines, so do be aware. I've still got that drag set ready in case he does make a lunge for the other rods, or indeed anywhere. And of course the net is still there, that's good news. I'm going to switch this angle for you guys. This is what you get filming on your own. People think we have a complete team at the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. I'll tell you that, well, the camera's crooked now, that tells you it's not a complete team here. Got rods everywhere. Oh, big smooth-hound. Oh. This is a big smooth-hound. This is, oh, he's hanging there. What am I going to do? Where's that net? What am I going to do? He's going to take off. Oh, be careful. I don't know whether you're going to get to see this. If I mess with the camera, I think I'm going to lose the fish. You're just going to have to... You're going to have to lump it or leave it or switch off, because I don't want to... Oh man, this could be a PB. Holy... This is a... He won't even go in the net. Holy... Oh, man alive. This is, without a doubt, my biggest smooth-hound. No question. Oh man, that was worth staying out late for. Look at that one. Look at that, I tell you what, that's about 15 pounds. That is, I don't care who you are, whether you're... I'm holding my net. What happened then? I don't care whether you're some great big specimen superhero hunter, specimen hunting guy. This is a big... Oh, beating me to death. This is what you come out for. This is why I stayed out late. People, that's got to be close, if not every bit of 15 pounds. That is a big smooth-hound. By bringing past the lens, you'll get an idea. He is probably 4 feet long. That is a beauty. No question, without a shadow of a doubt, that would be my biggest smooth-hound. Whew. And now what do? Do I go home? Oh my God, they'll be sending out the AA for me soon.
They make us feel so confined, but this love will blow their minds, yeah. Blow their minds. Just wanna have a good time, baby, a good time. We're gonna have a good time, baby, a good time. Just wanna have a good time. A good time.
So there you have it. A great day's fishing was had by all one of us. But listen, I do all the filming on my own as well. Hard day's graft, but it's worth it. Hopefully you guys have learned something again on the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. Get out there if you're in a boat. Enjoy your fishing. You don't need a big boat to catch big fish. We know that because we get big sharks in our small boats. Give it a go yourself sometime. See you next time. Where am I going? I think I'm going to keep fishing. Well, what's the point in going home? I'm only going to go on the computer and look at even more echo soundings, aren't I?
It's only a phase. As time ticks on.